Hey, Katya and I have a snow day in Atlanta. This is like a proper Minnesota winter storm, actually. So my faculty meeting was canceled, and I've been meaning to talk to Katya again about her background and boxing and stuff, just while I have some conversation while I'm showing you the rest of the sculpting of her portrait, which is now actually done. So you'll see that, and then eventually I'll make a mold making video. So yeah, we're just going to chat with Katya for a little bit on the walk. And we've got Taya with us, of course, because she's up for the snow day too. But the first thing I want to talk to you about is boxing, actually. So Katya and I walked yesterday, but her microphone didn't work for some reason, and then all you could hear was the footsteps of us walking through the snow, which is lovely for us, but not so good if you're trying to record audio. So what we're going to do is enter our closet and talk a little bit. Okay, we've situated ourselves in the closet, and where we left off was talking about sort of foundational activities and setting up the context for the story. I remember a time when I was just out of art school, when I was just starting to work as a substitute teacher, and when I was teaching the class, an ROTC person came to talk to the class, and they were talking about their experience and talking about boot camp as being such a critical time in their lives and to lay a sort of foundation of who they became, that they were expressing that not everybody should be necessarily in the military, but that everybody should go through boot camp to have that sort of foundational experience. And it was funny because about 2 weeks before that, I was talking to some friends who'd gone through art school, like a private art school, and they went through their foundations program, which was really intense, had a lot of community building and really hard assignments, and they were working long hours. And they said the same sort of thing, that not everybody should be an artist or go to art school, but everybody should go through that foundations program. And it was about like going through a challenging time, building community, and sort of building self-worth as sort of an activity that was a challenge and foundational to who they became. And I think we just need to have foundational experiences, not necessarily that everybody should go through one or the other or any different one, but I was going to frame this to talk to Katya about her experience both as a pianist and also as a boxer, because while she started piano way earlier, the boxing was also started as a teenager, right?
Yeah, correct. I started boxing as a hobby like when I was 13. We were like 4 girls and four guys hanging out all the time in Kuopio. And the guys found this boxing course which lasted like 3 months, 3 times a week. We all took the course, and then there was me and another guy who like stayed practicing boxing because it was fun. And then by the time
all 4 of you took the course, the first round.
Correct.
Your group of friends.
Yeah.
And then only like the 2 of you liked it enough to stay.
Yeah. And then eventually it was only me, and by the time I was 16, my trainer asked if I want to compete. And I said yes, but I knew that my parents would not allow me to.
They wouldn't like you competing, is what you were...
Correct.
Yeah.
So when the first competition came, then I told my parents that I will go to this weekend camp, and I had those before. But they did not know that I was actually going into the ring. The problem was that I won 3-0, and then the local newspaper wrote a big article about me with a picture. We have this future boxer in town, promising boxer. And then the next morning, my mom comes with the newspaper in her hand, yelling at me, waking me up. I'm like, what on earth have you done? I'm like, well, it went well. And then they're like, we'll never ever support this hobby of yours. We are not going to drive you anymore to the boxing training. And I'm like, I don't mind, I walk. So after school,
better for your training.
Yeah, after school I just had my big boxing bag and my clarinet and my music and school books, and I walked to the boxing rehearsal, and then somebody gave me a ride home.
So you were 13 when you started.
Correct.
And so it's really one of these activities that sort of set the foundation for who you are and who you became.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So what are some of the things that you got from boxing and being a boxer?
Well, I think that like not only a good six-pack and very good muscle foundation, but also like the mental aspect of that, like being able to handle situations which are hard and super demanding to work towards, and that definitely has reflected me on my profession as a pianist too. Like the mental aspect is so same with preparation for going for a fight or going for a performance on the stage, that it definitely have a huge influence on that. My mental trainers in boxing definitely gave me tools that I have used also in piano performance backstage preparations. So those two really goes together hand to hand.
One of the things that's interesting between boxing and performing piano is that there's so many hours of training and preparation that nobody ever sees. And then the time of performance, like you're doing so much work for a time of experience that's very short. So you like how many hours of practice to perform like a 4-minute, 5-minute piece or something. And the same thing with a fight where I'm not sure what the average boxing match lasts, but it's minutes more than hours.
Yeah. Well, the amateur level, well, I was boxing, it was like 2 minutes rounds times 3. So it's basically 6 minutes on the ring.
Yeah. And so like how many hours goes into this 6-minute time period?
Well, I can't count the hours. The competition season, we had rehearsals like 6 times a week, sometimes 2 times a day. And then, you count, the rehearsals are maybe 2 or 3 hours a time. And then you, on top of that, go for a run in the morning at 5 a.m. So, it's countless hours as well as piano practice. Like, it depends on the piece that you're preparing, of course, but there is so many hours of practicing within one little piece. It's insane, really.
Yeah, and I guess it's a sort of similar component for art making, where an artist is making this piece for hours and hours, and then the person viewing it might be in front of it for, a few seconds to a few minutes. I imagine boxing gave you a sense of discipline and work ethic that has fed into who you've become. Is that something that you found the case?
Yeah, definitely. I can tolerate pain very well.
And I suppose some of that is not just from the match, but also from the training part of it.
Yeah, the trainings are the ones that you want to throw up most, not the match itself.
Match, yeah.
No.
Again, coming to that preparedness so that the match is easy compared to the training.
Absolutely, yeah. The countless of times when I just wanted to not do what I was doing, but I still pushed through it. It was insane.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So whatever your boot camp is for you, but I think everybody should have some sort of activity they do that they really need to fight for. And then hopefully experience the successfulness of it.
Great. I agree. So get out there and find your fight.
Find your fight.
Yeah.
Be a badass.
Yeah, be a badass. Absolutely.